Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing how you can become the kind of woman that gets spoiled by men and how you can get men to spoil you, because all women deserve to be spoiled and all women desire to be spoiled. There is a certain kind of woman that never has to ask. Things simply flow to her. Gifts, attention, effort, and love. It's not luck, it's energy. So this video is about how to embody the kind of feminine energy that inspires men to spoil you willingly, and how hypergamy, when understood correctly, becomes a reflection of self-worth and not greed. True femininity is not about chasing or convincing. It's about knowing who you are and what you deserve and allowing life to rise to that standard. Okay, so in order to be the woman that gets men to spoil her, you have to be a hypergamous woman. Women are out here looking for provider men and looking to be spoiled, but they're not dating men of means. As a woman, I always tell you guys to always date up and don't date down. And if you are in a higher tax bracket, let's say, for example, like you're making, $300-400K, you should aim for men that are making around that amount or more, or at least a good amount if you want to date. Someone that's making less to you, then maybe between 2 and a 3 range. Like, you don't want to date anyone that doesn't have the ability to provide the lifestyle that you want. And it's not just about money. It's about the mindset. It's choosing to align with a man who adds to your peace and not drains it, and also has the means to provide for you without breaking the bank. When you date men who aren't at their financial best or have not achieved what they need to achieve yet in life, you will find more resentment and you will find more pushback when asking for things that you want and things that you desire, and you will then find yourself into this kind of pick-me energy where you'll end up in situations where you'll have to worry about splitting the bill, or you'll eventually not be happy with what you have, because what you've been doing is compromising your wants and needs in order to align yourself with this man for whatever reason. Find a man that can meet you at your level, emotionally, mentally, and yes, that includes financially. And when you embody hypergamy, you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're already complete. You're simply open to a partnership that feels like elevation. You stop pouring into men who show you no potential. You stop lowering your energy to be chosen. You become the standard. Ladies, you cannot ask dusty men to provide for you, or even go back and forth with men who claim that they don't want to be a provider, or if they're looking for a woman to quote unquote build with, or if they tell you when you're dating them about times that they felt used with women that may have asked them for money, and that's not something that they want to desire. That is a way for a man to pretty much train you to not ask him for any kind of money. It is a way for a man to tell you that he doesn't have it, or maybe he does have it and he is not willing to give it. You have to start listening to these men in conversations, especially when they're telling you, oh, hey, I'm in between jobs right now, or I'm taking a job right now that doesn't really pay very well. What they're indirectly telling you is to not ask them for money. And those aren't the men that you if you want to date. You want to ask them a little bit about how they feel about providing. You want to ask them a bit about how they treated their women. And if you don't want to come off instantly like a gold digger, what you want to do is you want to ask them, hey, well, what's the nicest thing that you've ever done for a woman? What are some good times that happened within your last relationships? Have you traveled for a woman before? How do you feel about marriage? These are some questions that you can ask and you can look for when you are trying to attract provider men and you're trying to become a spoiled woman. So we're going to dive into the power of feminine energy. Feminine energy is your magnetism. It's that quiet confidence that makes a man want to give to you without being asked. It's the way you walk, speak, and move. You're not extremely loud and you're not demanding, but you're sure of yourself and you're not afraid to act what you want. See, a woman that knows her value doesn't feel a need to compete. She receives, and to embody this energy, you need to soften up your edges. Slow down. Let yourself be cared for. When you're in feminine essence, you give the man the space to lead and he feels appreciated. He naturally wants to give more. Spoiling isn't just about gifts. It's about how a man treats you, prioritizes you, and invests his time and effort to make your life easier. Men love to give to women who know how to receive. That means when he offers, you accept it with grace. Do not decline his offers. Even if it's something small like, hey babe, can I get you some food? Or can I get your nails done? Or can I fix your car? Even if you have already plans or you know someone that can do it better, you allow him to give to you. You allow him to do for you, because when you guys deny these offers from men, what it does is it teaches him that he's not needed and that you're independent. And for a while, he may accept this kind of behavior, but eventually he won't feel like a man and he won't feel like he's needed if he's truly in his masculine energy. And he will then move on to the next woman that will allow him to provide for her and will allow him to feel manly and allow him to do things and nurtures and cares for his women. You don't need to minimize it or act like you don't need it. You just thank him genuinely. Most men simply just want a thank you. A lot of men are not very complicated, ladies. They love to hear thank you. They love to hear that you appreciate them. They love to hear that you make them feel good. For example, with my man, what I do is I just tell my man, I say, hey, I feel so appreciated when you do these things for me. I feel so good when you give me your time. Thank you for that. I am so appreciative of you providing for me and making me feel good. And that's all he requires. He already has money. He already has things in his life that completes him financially. But what he doesn't have is that feminine energy, and that's what he desires and he craves. So when you give a man a space to lead, and when he feels appreciated, he naturally is going to want to do more. And if he's a high value man, he wants his woman, and he knows that his woman is a reflection of him. So he's going to want to invest into you even more, because he knows that his colleagues and other men around him are looking at him and seeing what he's done with his woman, and they judge you on that. Especially when you deal with a man that's in business. A lot of them are married, and they aren't just marrying women just because, right? Or even if it's because, they believe in marriage, right? They also marry women because they know that they'll be judged by their other colleagues if they're not. Every successful man needs a woman by his side to help him out, right? Every successful man loves and values a woman and has a woman in his corner, keeping him level-headed, keeping him motivated. And that's what you are. You become his motivation. You value yourself is going to show within your posture, your tone, your standards, and men can feel that. Give you some feminine and graceful ways to communicate your value and receive money or gifts naturally through confidence, energy, and elegant communication. You want to start speaking from desire and not demand. Instead of telling him, hey, can you send me some money? Try saying, I've been wanting to treat myself to something nice this week. That bag reminded me of something you'd want me to see me in. You are expressing desire and not pressure, and that invites him to offer naturally. Allow him to contribute. Men feel purposeful when they can help or provide. You can say, you always know how to make things easier for me. You make me feel taken care of, and I love that. It opens space for him to give, whether it's money, gifts, or gestures of care, tied it to a shared experience. It will look like you involving him into things so that he doesn't feel like this is all for you and he doesn't get included in it. So you'll say, I love to go out somewhere nice with you this weekend. I saw this spa package and thought it'd be so relaxing for us. This lets him know what you desire while building an emotional connection, not just expectation. Make sure to tell him thank you. Make sure to remind him that it's thoughtful, and receiving with ease encourages giving because it feels appreciated and not transactional. You also want to make sure that you're spending time with this man. A lot of you guys are requesting money from men, and you guys are overdoing it with men because you don't spend time with them. They don't feel like they see you often. You barely talk to him. You want to also let him know that, hey, I'm here for you. You want to make him feel like he's desired, he's wanted, and he's acknowledged. Let's also talk about how we need to do less arguing and more communicating. When a man feels as though a woman is extremely chaotic, he does not feel inspired to spoil you or to provide for you because you're not giving him any sense of peace. You're causing more problems for him. And instead, if he does tolerate you and continues to be in a relationship with you and you're that kind of woman, what's going to happen is he's probably eventually going to cheat on you, or he's eventually going to step out. And while he's in that relationship, he's going to be looking for another kind of woman that is not going to cause him that amount of stress. So please keep that in mind. Be able to communicate your thoughts without being overly demanding or being extremely disrespectful. Nothing is going to turn him off more than you being extremely disrespectful to him, because he will not feel respected within the relationship. And respect and trust is one of the two main things that inspires a man overall to spoil and gift their woman and be in a relationship with a woman and ultimately marry a woman. If he feels respected, he feels trust, and he feels loved, then he's more inclined to do that for you. Also, try to date men who come from a two-parent household, who witnessed their mother being catered to or being pampered or being provided by their father, because those men typically, they seem to embody that and bring that on to the next relationship, versus if you were to date a man that perhaps comes from a single mom parenthood or household, or if his mother was the type of woman that allowed a man to be home with her and give 50-50 energy. Those kind of men typically don't want to provide, because they will say things like, well, my mom, she worked 2, 3, 4 jobs, and my dad did not have to provide for her, and he'll take after that. So that's why I always recommend trying to date a man that comes from a two-parent household, and within that household, the man was a provider and he was taught a lot of masculine things, because he will be more masculine versus the other man who may be a bit more feminine. Last but not least, please make sure, ladies, you guys are keeping up with your appearance and how you look and how you carry yourself, because that is going to tell a man exactly how to treat you. First impressions are everything, and you cannot be requesting things that you don't look like you're used to. Like, for example, you may not be rich, you may not be wealthy, but you at least want to look elegant when you go outside. You at least want to look classy. Keep your hair done, keep your nails done, be polished. Look like the type of woman that deserves to be spoiled. Look like the type of woman that maintains and upkeep with herself, because if you go around these men expecting to be spoiled and treated great, and you're coming around, your hair is never done, you're walking around with broken nails, you don't dress up the part, he's going to look at you like you're crazy, because what attracted him to you is probably because he probably either thought you had low self-esteem or that you were cheap or whatever the case may be. When you dress like an elegant and classy woman, what it does is it forces men to automatically, before they even try to talk to you, to be like, okay, she's expensive. Okay, she looks expensive. Okay, she looks like she's the type to be spoiled. And a lot of times this is like dust repellent. Like, when you guys dress nice and you dress like you have elegance and you dress like you know, class, it repels the dusties. When you guys dress like your favorite Instagram models, and trust me, I'm guilty of it too, but I only try to dress that way like after I've already, you know, been with a man for a while, and you know, I can wear some sexy clothing here and there. But if you're in the initial dating stage, and or you know, you're looking for someone, you're at the point where like, hey, I want to be provided for, it's time to start changing the way you look and change your environments. That way you can start attracting provider men. You can't be trying to look for provider men in your local nightclub. You cannot be trying to look at provider men at low dinky bars. You know, if you're going to go to a bar and you're going to try to look for a provider man, at least go to like a, you know, 5-star hotel that's more expensive, that you may find them at. You may find them at, you know, other fine dining places. You may find them at charity events. You know, a lot of times you guys need to go out during the day, during the night, because a lot of times these businessmen are not hanging around all night, because they have business already in the morning. So I always recommend that you guys start going out during the day, elevate your look, find you some cute clothes, and stop looking cheap, so that you can start attracting provider men. And even if you don't have it, you just have to look the part. Thank you, and have a good day. And also remember, never ever beg a man for anything. If you're dating a man and you feel like you have to beg him to take you out, for him to spend money on you, for him to make you feel good, for him to make you feel desirable, that is not the man for you. A man that is for you, you will never have to beg. He will naturally want to give to you, but you also have to inspire him to give to you. And if you don't inspire a man, that is totally okay. All that means is that's not the man from you. Keep looking, keep elevating, and keep growing. Also, please check out the link in my description. Join my Telegram. I hope that we can connect outside of YouTube. Please comment. Let me know what you think of this video, and any other topics that you want me to speak on, let me know.